Are you ready to step into the danger zone, better known as CinemaCon? Since starting this show about 8 years ago, honestly, we've never seen the amount of teases that have come out of an event like this. Dustin, this is a cinephile's dream, man.
I mean, without doubt, everything that came out of there should fire you up if you're a film fan. It looks like it's gonna be smooth sailing for the next couple of years. But then they also kind of hinted that it might just be smooth sailing for a couple of months. So we're going to talk about that. But yeah, I'm pumped because there was what I really liked, and we're going to dive into it, but it was a nice little mix of tent poles and story-driven artsy films. So man, yeah, I'm pumped. Pumped!
Gonna be a great freaking show? Well, let's not wait any longer. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Did y'all see that? What?
Let's just throw Scream 6 in there for like
It
my
was good.
favorite movie. It was really good. The best of the franchise, in my opinion, since the first one.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Oh my goodness. Welcome back to another episode. We are on 291 of ITCAFpodcast. And you guys know your host with the most, myself, J. Logan Austin, a.k.a. J-Lo Fantastic. And, of course, the mouth, a.k.a. Dustin M. Berkman.
What's up?
Man, oh man, of course, before teasing the rest of the show and getting into it, I should say, be sure to leave a rating on this podcast, comment below, and let us know what you think about the show. Because if you didn't know, talking about this podcast, liking it, sharing it, doing those type of things, it helps more people find the podcast, especially for those who are trying to break into the entertainment industry, but also for those who just love that pop culture news, man.
Yes.
We are here for you. And then, of course, be sure to head over to our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We've got a little bit of something for a little bit of everyone. That is for sure, man. I'm super freaking pumped, but we got to bring it down. We got to bring it down.
Gotta bring it
Just
down a
one
little
second.
bit. A little bit.
1 second, because we did lose a legend this past week in Hollywood. I've seen the horizon. It's out there. And though I may never be able to touch it, I'm always going to keep running towards it. That was Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison, of course, in the biopic The Doors. Everybody knows him as the babyface blonde actor who had a very, very solid run as the leading man with a volatile reputation in the 80s and 90s. Of course, starring in movies like Top Gun, Real Genius, Willow, Heat, and The Saint. He died this past Tuesday in Los Angeles. The cause was anoma, and he was 65. He had been battling throat cancer for several years. Of course, Kilmer, who played Bruce Wayne in Batman Forever, channeled Jim Morrison in Oliver Stone's The Doors, and starred as a tubular crazy man, awesome man in Tombstone as Doc Holliday. Briefly screens in 2022's Top Gun Maverick, although he could no longer speak due to his cancer, so they figured out ways around that, and It's a very touching thing. Kilmer lived for many years on a ranch in New Mexico, where he continued to own land after selling most of the ranch. He also painted and helped oversee theater programs for high schoolers to perform Twain and Shakespeare. He was divorced from actress Joanne Welly in 1996, but it is survived by his daughter Mercedes and son Jack. This was very difficult to see, especially a couple years ago after watching the documentary on Amazon Prime titled Val. Just an amazing individual, I feel like, with everything that he had going on. He was just a regular guy who tried to do regular things, and the celebrity kind of, I feel like, gave him anxiety, and you really got to see the type of anxiety that he coped with in that documentary. But I mean, thespian, Juilliard trained, and an amazing, amazing talent that we lost this past week.
For sure. I mean, anybody my age, for sure, in the 80s and 90s, I mean, this was an icon. It was very rare that you could go to the theater and not see him in something, or on television and not see him in something. And He was very diverse. The roles that he took were very different, and he wasn't scared to take challenges. He challenged Oliver Stone. Oliver Stone wanted to dub Jim Morrison, and he's like, "Look, man, let me show you. I'm gonna remove the track and I'm going to sing. And if you can tell the difference, then I won't sing." But Stone couldn't tell the difference, and so Val ended up doing all the singing. And now we see that all the time, people performing their own singing in these movies. But he was kind of the renegade there. Is like, listen, man, I'm gonna sing.
From the documentary, it definitely seemed like that one was his passion project.
Oh,
that
without
one,
doubt.
and then of course going on stage with the one-man show as Mark Twain.
Yeah.
He seemed to really enjoy that one as well.
Without doubt, just a solid actor's actor, and I forever Tombstone. I mean, I can't say all you want about Iceman, but "I'm your Huckleberry" will forever be ingrained, I think, in pop culture. It's just a line you can never go away from. But we have to jump. We have to jump because This Week in Hollywood was, of course, as we teased at the top of the show, all about CinemaCon 2025. And while they didn't present first, we got to kick it off with Disney, which had several major reveals, including the live-action Lilo and Stitch, Pixar's Elio, Marvel Studios, of course, Fantastic Four: First Steps, and I know the one Logan is excited about, Avatar: Fire and Ash. So let's dive in. The first one that we saw, Thunderbolts, asterisk. Don't know why it's got the asterisk. We're going to find out. Now, the release date on this bad boy is May 2nd of this year. It is, of course, directed by Jake Schreier. And if you haven't heard, stars Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Sebastian Stan, Wyatt Russell, and Louis Pullman. Now, they did show, apparently, some exclusive footage. Now, the team in this footage bickers in a van before apparently crashing into a building, sparking a brutal fight, and then Valentina reveals a new Avengers tower. But they're like, nah, we're not the Avengers, and they resist. Then the big baddie shows up, Sentry, lifting a team member before unleashing destruction on New York City. Sounds like a badass kind of few minutes of footage, so we'll see how that one plays out. I'm excited for this one, though.
Completely agree. Well, the next much highly anticipated one is the live-action Lilo and Stitch. This one is coming out a day after my birthday on May 23rd of 2025. It is, of course, directed by Dean Fletcher Camp, and of course stars Hannah Waddingham, Sydney Adong, Billy Monkson, Zach Galifianakis, and Chris Sanders. This one I think is going to do amazing, and I'm super glad I picked that one as well for my box office.
I bet you are. And apparently no footage out of that one, but I'm not surprised because they've been showing stuff left and right about that one, so it doesn't surprise me. Then, of course, can we do a Disney showcase without a Pixar film? No! So they highlighted their new one coming up, Elio, which comes out June 20th of this year. Now, this one's directed by Adrian Molina, Madeline Shaffer, and Domi Shi, and stars, apparently, Jonas Kibri, Zoe Zeldana, Brad Garrett, Jamila Jamil. So that's a really good cast. I'm pumped for that. They did show some exclusive footage on this one. You want to know what it was? Well, Elio apparently is mistakenly named Earth's ambassador in the Communiverse. He apparently teams up with an alien sidekick to stop a spider bot invasion. Vibrant, inventive, and full of Pixar charm, apparently is what they're saying out of the footage that they've seen. So, sounds fun, right?
Definitely. Pixar definitely needs to reestablish that charm.
Oh.
For sure. I'm just saying.
It does.
Well, we are taking the first steps, of course, with the Fantastic Four. We're very excited about this one. The release date for that is July 25th of 2025. It is directed by Matt Shankman. Of course, stars Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Eben Moss-Barack, and Julia Garner. An exclusive footage from this bad boy. In parallel with the MCU, the Fantastic Four are celebrities. Sue Storm reveals her pregnancy, but Silver Surfer arrives with a warning. Galactus is coming.
Yes.
The footage, of course, ends in fiery destruction, man. I'm super freaking pumped for that one. I think they're going to get it right, man. I really do.
I do, because they show Galactus, and apparently the shadow is huge looming over. And it's not the Silver Surfer you think. It was the female Silver Surfer that they saw. And I think the big thing that everybody's talking about coming out of this is they confirm that Frankie is coming. She confirms she's pregnant. So, yes, boys and girls, Franklin Richards is coming. And as you guys all know, he's the most powerful being in the Marvel Universe. So, excited. All right. Are you excited about this one? I don't know. But they did reveal Freakier Friday. This one is coming out August of this year. This is directed by Nisha Ganatra. And if you haven't heard, it stars, once again, Jamie Lee Curtis, Lindsay Lohan, Chad Michael Murray, and Julia Butters. Now, this one did show some exclusive footage that got the crowd excited. This time, Anna and Tess swap bodies with their daughters. Chaos ensues as Anna, in her daughter's body, awkwardly flirts, and Tess navigates a romantic mix-up. Now, the whole thing was set to Chappelle Roan's Hot to Go. Okay, that makes sense. Hot to Go fits both of them. So,
Completely agree. The trailer looked cute. I don't necessarily. I think this would be a good streaming movie. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be good for the box office. I'm just saying.
Agreed.
So it's going to be very interesting. Well, another one that is going to be very interesting: Predator: Badlands.
Yes.
The release for that one is going to be November 7th of 2025. It is directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Elle Fanning, of course, is starring in this pick. And we did get some exclusive footage where a predator lands on a dystopian world where humans hunt them. Elle Fanning's cybernetic warrior forms an uneasy alliance with the creature. New weaponry, rituals, and a towering kaiju set up in an epic clash. Oh, I'm talking action, man. So it's going to be interesting.
Without doubt. The last Predator I loved. It was kind of a prequel set way back in with times of the Indians and shit. And the Predators first came way back then. I loved it. So I'm excited to see this franchise branch out and keep going. This next one I'm not so sure I'm excited about. I loved the original. Second one, but do we need to continue? And of course I'm talking about Tron Ares. This one's coming out October of this year, directed by Joachim Ronning. It is, of course, getting excited because of the cast. You've got Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Gillian Anderson, Evan Peters, and Jeff Bridges once again returning. Now, that is a badass cast. I mean, if you're going to do it right, right? They did show some exclusive footage. The light cycles are back, and they're tearing through New York City streets as the grid merges with reality. Ares materializes pixel by pixel, while Kevin Flynn's narration hints at looming chaos. Now, high-energy cyberpunk spectacle with an aggressive soundtrack overtook this footage and apparently had the crowd pretty pumped, so we'll see.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a good soundtrack, I feel like.
Without doubt.
You got to.
You got to.
Well, maybe the biggest fumble from Dustin and I's box office drafts is neither of us picked Zootopia 2. The first one did really amazing at the box office, and it's a huge classic with the younger audience. That will be releasing November 26th of 2025. It is directed by Jared Bush and Brian Howard, and of course stars Jason Bateman coming back as the title character, Ginger Goodwin, Ki Hyo Kwan, and Shakira.
Oh, the hips don't lie. I'm just saying, there was no footage for this one, but maybe the hips were busy. So maybe we'll get some, I don't know, but I'm sure footage will be coming. All right, we're going to do a flip-flop here because this is your draft pick, and the next one is my draft pick. So let's get excited. Talk about it. Bring it to me.
Might as well.
Bring it to me.
Avatar, Fire and Ash, man. People are talking about the freaking storyline looks crazy, okay? The family apparently is going to be fighting all throughout this entire film, which is awesome because they kind of led into the entire second film was them running.
Yeah.
And maybe the entire third film is going to be them fighting. We all know there was kind of a freaking betrayal at the end of the second film. So I'm sure that's going to be addressed. And stories coming out of CinemaCon saying that it looks cinematically beautiful, which I'm super excited about. This bad boy is going to hit theaters December 19th of 2025, directed by the great James Cameron himself, with Sam Worthington coming back, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Kate Winslet, and Cliff Curtis as well.
See, I think that's where you're going to do well, because at that time of year, it's normally just Oscar contenders. So there's not going to be big tent poles to compete with it. So, it's not like it's dropping in a stacked summer. So
Exactly.
we'll see. We'll see. All right. Can you have Disney without Warner Brothers? No, you cannot. So Warner Brothers has a presentation, and Zaslav assured everybody that they're committed to cinema. All right. They did have several significant announcements at the CinemaCon, though, providing exclusive insights into their upcoming film slate. And of course, they kicked it off with the man, the myth, the legend himself, James Gunn, and the entire cast of my number one draft pick, Superman. And with the original, you believed a man could fly. This one, no doubt, apparently we're going to believe a dog can fly, because I think he's the real star of the movie. This one's releasing July 11th, so right around the corner. Super pumped. It, of course, stars David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, Skylar Giordano, Nathan Fillion, Isabel Merced, Edie Gathagi, and Anthony Kerrigan. Now, yes, they did show exclusive footage. They made some mistakes here, I think, because they're going to put it on Minecraft, which I thought, brilliant move. That's going to make people go see Minecraft. But then they released it online. Like, what the? Why are you going to show it online if you want people to see it on Minecraft? I don't know. What was it? Well, attendees apparently viewed a 5-minute behind-the-scenes reel, followed by a clip where an injured Superman summons his dog Krypto in the Arctic. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've seen that. But it's an extended clip. Krypto messes around with him, bites his feet, gnaws at his head a little bit. It's playing like a dog does with his human, right? And then he apparently does assist him in getting him to the Fortress of Solitude, where we see the Kryptonian robots place Superman in a sun-powered healing chamber and power back up. The big thing coming out of this from everybody that I saw, Krypto. Clearly, they saw the response when they released that first little teaser trailer, and they went with it at CinemaCon. Let's give them a 5-minute clip of Krypto. So, listen, man, it's my draft pick. So whatever gets people to the theater, I'm down. If it's Krypto, if it's Superman, if it's Lex, I don't care. Just go see it.
Just go see it, man. Go see it. Even if it's just for the dog.
Hey, man, come on. I love, though, that they're playing that up. That's what they're saying. They are really showing that dynamic relationship. I love that.
Agreed. Warner Brothers distributed, Apple created F1. Boy, this one might be a huge sleeper this year at the box office. The release date for this bad boy is February 27th of 2026, so next year. Of course, it stars Brad Pitt, Damian Idris, Carrie Condon, Javier Bardem, and Tobias Menzies. We did get some exclusive footage. It's about a 10-minute segment showcase. Brad Pitt as Sonny Hayes, a retired Formula One driver. The footage highlights intense authenticity shots, racing scenes, and, of course, a storyline where Sonny is approached to mentor a young driver for an upcoming Grand Prix. That is very exciting, because we saw when we look at Brad Pitt and his mentor roles, the biggest one that sticks out to me is Moneyball.
Yep.
And he did very well in that film. So I'm hoping it's going to be another chemistry like that, where he does very well in that mentor role. Like I said, it's quickly becoming one of my highly anticipated films for next year.
I love it. I love it. And this one probably will be too. It's quickly getting there for me. One battle after another. Now, this bad boy releases on September 26th of this year, stars everybody's fave, Leo DiCaprio and Benicio del Toro. Now, guys, if you haven't seen the footage or even the leaked photos of this bad boy, holy shit, Leo is scary as fuck in this movie. The clip apparently featured Leo as Bob Ferguson, frantically negotiating over the phone with a rebel named Comrade Josh, while Benicio del Toro's character was searching their apartment. The scene balanced a lot of tension with dark humor, kind of like Inherent Vice. But yeah, this one looks like it might be another Oscar nomination for Leo. It looks pretty intense, and I think he's going to knock it out of the park, man.
I hope so, man. I hope so, because I'm just going to be honest about it. Killers of the Flower Moon, his his character that he played was not good. It
No.
was stupid. Like, anyway, Final Destination Bloodlines is also coming out. I thought we were done with these bad boys, but apparently not. Apparently not. Horror's a big thing. That one is going to be releasing May 16th of 2025. It stars Breck Bassinger, Tio Borenes, Caitlin Santana Juanita, Richard Harmon, and Anna Lore. We also did get some exclusive footage from this one as well, where attendees were shown a suspenseful hospital scene where two brothers attempt to cheat death completely. Their plan involving a peanut allergy goes weary, leading to a series of gruesome events, capturing the franchise's signature blend of horror and dark comedy. You know, it's been so long since a Final Destination movie, so it'll be interesting to see if this one sticks as well to where they go back to the franchise.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. This is like another one with like Saw and whatever. Do we need more of these? I just don't know. This next one sounds really interesting, and it's got a lot of Marvel stars in it. If you didn't get enough of Julia Garner as the female Silver Surfer, well, here you go. Weapons. This thing's coming out on August 8th, and it stars, like I said, Julia Garner, along with Thanos himself, Josh Brolin, Alden Ehrenreich, and Benedict Wong. Let's just throw some Doctor Strange up in there too. Amy Madigan and Austin Abrams. Now, they did show some footage from this one, and apparently the trailer was set to an eerie tone, depicting a teacher, played by Garner, whose entire class goes missing. The unsettling narrative told unfolds with disturbing visuals, suggesting a psychological horror experience. Because that's what I want to see when my kids go to school. I don't know.
Again, horror, man. Horror.
Yeah, that's
and
all
look
right.
at this. Freaking Warner Brothers trying to go back to the family-friendly content, which I'm actually excited about because this is a beloved IP.
Yeah.
An animated Cat in the Hat film that is set to release next year, February 27th of 2026. It will star Bill Hader. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him, lending his voice to the classic, iconic character. And then in this exclusive footage, an unfinished trailer introduced Bill Hader as the voice of Cat in the Hat, showcasing chaotic scenes in a neighborhood and hinting at the cat's mission to bring whimsy to two children. Now, the humor was well received, though some question its alignment with Dr. Seuss's original tone. Listen, the man's dead. You got to try new shit, okay? It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, and I like Bill Hader. Bill Hader's voice to me screams Cat in the Hat. It's I think it's great casting. So I don't know. We'll see. This next movie I'm kind of really excited about. This one's been on the radar, and we've been talking about it a lot. The Bride. So I'm pumped. This is the release date March 6th of next year. This one, of course, is directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal and stars Jessie Buckley, Christian Bale, Annette Bening, Juliana Hough, and Sebastian Stan. Now, they did show footage from this bad boy. A little brief teaser displayed Jessie Buckley as a woman resurrected by Christian Bale's character. The black and white imagery combined with intense scenes of the duo's exploits suggests a stylized, edgy take on the classic tale. And if you don't know what I mean by the classic tale, The Bride is the Bride of Frankenstein. So it's going to be a good one. I like this. I like Maggie Gyllenhaal as a director. I think she's going to knock that one out of the park. I really do.
Completely agree. Well, we're heading over to Paramount, where they brought some major IPs, star power, and animated favorites to CinemaCon 2025. With this first look trailers and exclusive footage from some of its most anticipated releases, like the Smurfs film. That's right, July 18th of 2025. And this one's going to be directed by Chris Miller. And we're going to hear some amazing freaking voices with this cast. We got Rihanna, James Corden, Nick Offerman, J.P. Kurliak, Dan Levy, and so many more. And we did get a little bit of sneak peek exclusive footage where a Gargamel is muted while trying to rally villains as Smurfs party to a new Rihanna song. Now, a strange flower pulls them into the real world, where animated Smurfs interact with live action humans. We've seen this a ton of times before, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, most recently with the Tom and Jerry movie.
Yep.
So hopefully the Smurfs can get some success in the real world.
Yeah, the first one was really good when it was with Neil Patrick Harris, and they kind of blended the two, but then the other one fell off kind of. So hopefully this rebounds. Hey, Rihanna's going to be breaking up dishes in there, so it's good. Good. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. I know it feels like it's been 4 years since the first one, right? They even dropped off part 2 because it's been so long. They're like, fuck it. We're not even going to remind people it was a second one. This bad boy is finally coming out next month, May 23rd. It is, of course, once again directed by Christopher McQuarrie. It once again brings back Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, and the lovely Mrs. Sue Storm herself, Vanessa Kirby. Now, they did show exclusive footage, of course. Ethan Hunt hangs from a yellow plane because would it be footage without Tom Cruise doing a stunt? In a wild dogfight, he plugs into a computer, relieving franchise highlights as action-packed sequences build towards a final showdown. And I think it is potentially final showdown because everything we're hearing out of this thing is that this is Ethan Hunt's walk away, and Haley Atwell's character will be the new one moving the franchise forward. They set that up certainly in the last one. It looks like this footage is hinting at that, so we'll see.
It's so interesting because they will not confirm or deny. I think they're really seeing how this film will play out.
Exactly.
And it's going to be an interesting weekend because that's the same weekend as Lilo and Stitch. So how many dads are not going to go see Mission Impossible because of Lilo and Stitch? That's going to be very freaking interesting.
True.
Well, I'm ready. And I know you are too, for the SpongeBob movie where we're searching for SquarePants. That's right. December 19th of 2025 is its release date, and it will be directed by Derek Draymond. And we are going to be hearing the lovely voices of Tom Kenny, Clancy Brown, Roger Bumpass, Bill Fragerbunk, and Mark Hamill. That's right. And in exclusive footage, a live-action pirate sets up SpongeBob's journey to become a big man. Pete and Patrick face the Flying Dutchman in a colorful underworld adventure blending wild humor and wild animation. I know that one's going to be very popular.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's pretty excited about it. He keeps talking about it. I'm like, okay, fine. This next one caused me a lot of traffic headaches because it shot right here where I'm at, and it was a nightmare sometimes, but I'm betting it's going to be worth it. The film is Roof Man, comes out in October, directed by Derek Cliffritz. And the reason it was probably so many traffic nightmares is because people were sure trying to catch looks at Channing Tatum, Juno Temple, Peter Dinklage, Kirsten Dunst, and Lakeith Stanfield. Hey! Didn't see him, but hey. We did see some exclusive footage from this bad boy. Jeff robs a McDonald's through the roof, escapes prison, and hides in a Walmart attic. He romances a worker, clashes with the manager, and apparently makes a lot of fun in this offbeat true crime dramedy. Now you see the theme there. That's why it's called Roof Man. He likes attics and roofs, and he's just like all over, right?
Well, I got one for you too. It's called The Running Man. And that one's going to be coming out November 7th of 2025. It's going to be directed by Edgar Wright. Will be starring Glenn Powell, Josh Brolin, Coleman Domingo, Michael Cera, and William H. Macy. What a cast. And in exclusive footage, this in a dystopian future, Ben Richards enters a deadly live broadcast game. Explosive action follows as he fights to survive, while a flamboyant host fuels the spectacle. Now I'm betting Glenn Powell is the freaking guy. Ben Richards.
Yeah.
And I mean, we know he's doing everything amazing, so I'm excited for that.
He is. And for all you youngins out there, this is a remake of an Arnold Schwarzenegger film. And the host was Richard Dawson, from the original host from Family Feud. That's how old that bad boy was.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Here's another one. Do we need this?
No.
We don't need this one. I guess it's so that we can see if the particular set of skills includes comedy. The Naked Gun. And apparently it's going to be, we don't even know when it's coming out. They don't have a date. We do know it's directed by Avica Schaefer. Now, who's taking over for Leslie Nielsen? Liam Neeson. Yes. Apparently Pamela Anderson, Paul Walter Hauser are also in this bad boy. Now, they did show some footage, and Liam Neeson stars in the slapstick reboot, filled with, as always with Naked Gun films, absurd gags, visual humor, and old school comedy throwbacks in a modern detective movie. We don't need it.
No.
We don't need it. Leslie Nielsen did it as best as you could do it. He did it, in my opinion, too many times. We don't need Liam taking it over. We don't.
Surely they can be serious, but you know, don't call me
done.
Shirley. That's for
Well
sure.
done.
This would need to be really good or really bad, in my opinion, because we need more comedies at the box office. But Liam Neeson doing comedy, I don't know, man. I really
I want to
don't.
see him hunting down people who are hurting his kids.
Seriously. And I mean, Paramount did tease future films that they're wanting to do. Children of Blood and Bone, Heart of the Beast, an untitled Trey Parker, Matt Stone, and Kendrick Lamar musical. Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Scream 7, The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2. So, other things on the slate, man. Other things on the slate.
Hell yes. All right. Jumping on over to the other biggie, Universal Pictures, and as expected, they brought a ton of massive announcements, starting with, Wicked. We've got Wicked for good. Release date November of this year, November 21st, directed, of course, by John M. Chu, and once again bringing back the lovely Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, and the lovely Jeff Goldblum, Michelle Yeoh, Jonathan Bailey, Ethan Slater, and Marissa Baudet. Now, you couldn't get away with this one without showing footage, and they did. They showed a brand new trailer which unveils a powerful confrontation between Elphaba and Glinda as their complex bond continues to evolve amidst a revolution in Oz. Now, apparently a newly choreographed, emotionally charged rendition of For Good showcases the intricate relationship. Stunning visuals once again depict the beauty and chaos of their world, with epic sequences setting up an inevitable showdown with the wizard, because it's coming. Yeah, this was a no-brainer. Duh. It's going to be huge. It's going to be good. And did either one of us pick this bad boy?
You did.
I did. Okay, good. Woo, good. I couldn't even remember, but good.
Okay. And I picked Jurassic World Rebirth.
There you go.
And that release date is July 2nd of 2025. The director is Gareth Edwards, and of course it is starring Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, Mahershala Ali, Rupert Friend, Manuel Garcia Ruflo, and Luna Baliz. And we did get a little bit of footage from this one as well. Tension escalates as Scarlett Johansson's Zoe Bennett faces off against a genetically mutated dinosaurs in an unpredictable environment. Now, high-octane action sequences bring the new hybrid of dinosaurs to the forefront, with an unexpected monster mutation adding fresh terror. Now, in this trailer, it promises thrilling chases, daring escapes, and an emotional charged fight for survival. I think if anybody can bring this thing back from the dead, I mean, it wasn't really dead, but I mean, we know the storyline got very cold towards the end of Chris Pratt's and Bryce Dallas Howard's franchise. But I think Scarlett Johansson can breathe some new air into the Jurassic World franchise.
I agree with you. She proved in Black Widow she can carry a film on her own as the lead, and I think she's going to do really well. Now, you remember she did a film, if I'm not mistaken, way back called Her. Well, now we have him. Yep, it's coming. Apparently, September 19th of this year. Director Justin Tipping. This one will star Marlon Wayans, Julia Fox, Tim Heidecker, and Tyreek Withers. Now, what is it about? Well, the footage that we saw, a surreal mind-bending montage, of course, of brutal training sequences, quickly escalates into a supernatural terror as Marlon Wayans' character guides his mentee, played by Tyreek Withers, through a terrifying journey of self-discovery. This thing was dark, occult-filled, had moments of intensifying, hinting at the ultimate showdown where sinister forces will definitely come into play. The question is it the mentee or the mentor that's him? We really don't know from the footage, so I guess we're going to have to watch it to find out who is him.
Exactly. Well, we know who this is. Megan 2.0. I wonder if this one's going to have another viral TikTok dance. We'll see.
We'll see.
We got a little time for it to play out because the release date is June 27th of 2025. It will be directed by Gerard Johnstone, and the screenplay was by Aclea Cooper, and of course is starring Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, and Amy Donald. We did get some exclusive footage from this one where Megan's return promises even more chaos and danger as she faces off against a rival bot bent on destruction. Is this going to be Terminator 2?
Maybe.
Is she turning into a good girl? Like, what's going on? The trailer is packed with action featuring Megan's heightened intelligence and sinister tendencies, expecting shocking moments, explosive set pieces, and creepy dark humor as one line between human and machine blurs further and further. Yeah, I mean, it really sounds like Terminator 2.
It really
like
does.
Going like, a whole different route.
I'm down for it. The first one was entertaining. Let's find out. I have a question. Is Violet McGraw? I'm not. Is that a Tim McGraw daughter?
I have no idea.
I mean, I've never heard the name before, and I'm curious. Violet McGraw. As he consults the Bible of the industry to find out, we'll move on to The Bad Guys 2. This release date is August of this year, August 1st, 2025, directed by Pierre Perifel and J.P. Sands. Now, this one's going to be voiced by Sam Rockwell, Mark Marion, and Craig Robinson, because as you know, it's an animated film. Exclusive footage was shown. The infamous team of criminal animals is back in action for another daring heist. This time, the stakes are even higher. There was fast-paced chase scenes, hilarious antics, and intense moments that set the tone for this animated sequel. Now, the footage revealed a daring helicopter mission with epic stunts and an unexpected plot twist that will have audiences on the edge of their seats. That sounds fun. I'm down.
It does sound fun.
The first one was actually kind of fun. So, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. Right. It does not look like she is a descendant of Tim McGraw, but she is the youngest of 4 children where her siblings are also actors. Jack McGraw of The Good Dinosaur, Aidan McGraw of American Sniper, and Madeline McGraw, who plays Gwen in The Black Phone.
Well,
so,
there
I
you
mean,
go.
They're all killing it, man. Good for them.
Thank you.
The next one on NBC Universal slate is Nobody 2. This one is going to be releasing August 15th of 2025. It is going to be directed by Timo Tashjianto. And it has Bob Odenkirk, Connie Nielsen, and Sharon Stone in this bad boy. This was a sleeper at the year that it came out at the box office, and it did very well. Exclusive footage shows Hutch, of course, played by Bob Odenkirk, returns with vengeance as he is forced to confront more brutal adversaries. In one instant sequence, Hutch is seen battling through a dangerous building while evading an attack. A hilarious boat chase sequence adds levity and amidst the chaos with an action-packed carnival showdown, teasing high-stakes combat and promises to leave audiences breathless.
Why is it always at a carnival, man? Why they always gotta go to the carnivals? Come on! Or the kid-friendly restaurants. We're apparently headed back. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. This one's getting a bad boy in December release, December 5th of this year. Director by Emma Tammy. This one's starring Elizabeth Lale and Josh Hutcherson coming back. Exclusive footage. Yes, they did have some. Apparently, Freddy's Fazbear's Pizza reopens with a new generation of animatronics, and the terror ramps up once again in the sequel. The trailer showed the eerie toy Freddy and other sinister characters wreaking havoc once again as Elizabeth Lale's character faces new nightmares. Now, the footage builds up suspense as the animatronics once again come alive with jump scares, claustrophobic shots creating intense atmosphere, and so much more. I never saw the first one. I'll be honest with you. Never saw it. So,
I didn't either, and it did really well.
That's what I heard.
I was just thinking maybe we can find it on Peacock and give this thing a shot.
Right?
Well, the theme of NBC Universal is sequels because we have The Black Phone 2 also coming out this year and another horror film. They're really sticking with their Blumhouse feel. The release date for that one is October 17th of 2025, just in time for Halloween. Director is going to be Scott Derrickson. And of course, coming back is Ethan Hawke, Mason Thames, and Madeline McGraw.
There you go.
Just talked about.
That is so weird.
It is very weird. Exclusive footage in this one, the Grabber, played by Ethan Hawke, is back and more terrifying than ever in his supernatural sequel. Gwen and Finney find themselves in an even darker battle with the evil spirit that controls the Grabber. The chilling teaser showcases an intense supernatural occurrences along with hair-raising suspenseful moments as the siblings fight to survive.
Ethan Hawke's a scary dude when he plays these characters.
He
I'm just
is. He
saying.
is. Yeah, but I love him though. I love him. After
No.
watching that, he made a documentary about Paul Newman and his
Yeah.
wife, and that was amazing.
Oh, it was incredible. Yeah, I loved that. And he's such a good guy, just a genuine
He
nice
is.
guy. And but he's
Yeah.
creepy as fuck. He plays a creepy guy pretty well. All right, hey, this one sounds interesting, so let's dive into it. Soulmate. Do you have a soulmate? Who knows? They say we all do. This one's releasing on January 2nd of next year, directed by Kate Dolan. It'll star Claudia Domit, David Rysdahl, and Lily Sullivan. Now, the footage shown here, the trailer introduced a new form of love and obsession. With Claudia Domit's character falling for a robot who becomes increasingly dangerous when her soulmate is put in peril. Expect a unique blend of romance, horror, and technology as the boundaries between machine and human blur, leading to unsettling consequences. So we're talking sex robots. They're a real thing, boys and girls, and apparently we're gonna make. We've already had a couple movies. Megan Fox did one like. Apparently, we're gonna make movies about them.
Right, exactly. Next, we have the Phoenician scheme.
I'm gonna go with Phoenician, maybe.
Phoenician scheme. And that one will be coming out May 30th of 2025, directed by, of course, this makes sense, Wes Anderson, and he is going to be having in his amazing cast, as he always does, Benicio del Toro, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, and I'm sure so many more. He always gets a whole bunch of people in his films. And we did see some exclusive footage in this bad boy with the quirky world of Wes Anderson comes to life in this heist film filled with eccentric characters and complex layers. The footage highlights Del Toro's character navigating a chaotic, colorful scheme, with Scarlett Johansson and Tom Hanks adding their signature flair to the ensemble. Beautifully created visuals and witty dialogue set the stage for a unique adventure. They always sound so interesting, but it's always so hard for me to watch them. I don't know why.
He is a very unique and quirky director. You really got to be like into it to watch his stuff. You know what I mean?
And I feel like his films are the ones that you have to like go back and literally watch where he started and where he is now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you try to jump into one, it's kind of difficult to grasp his type of filmmaking.
Yeah, and yet he's the guy that they all want to work with, right? They all beg to be in his films. So, and boy, Scarlett's a busy girl this year, huh? She's all over the place. All right, we're gonna wrap this one up with Bugonia. Yes, Bugonia. I have no idea what that is. Talk about another strange director, though, Yorgos Lanthimos. He's an odd one, but he's loyal to his people, as I'm about to tell you. This bad boy comes out November 7th of this year, and once again, he's bringing back Jesse Plemons, Emma Stone, Alicia Silverstone, Stavros Halkias, and if I had to guess, maybe a cameo by Willem Dafoe. He seems to put Willem in everything. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Now, the teaser for this bad boy, Bugonia, unveiled a bizarre and unsettling world where Jesse Plemons' beekeeper discusses the bee's function with a simmering undercurrent of animosity. So he's a little upset. The trailer reveals Emma Stone as the queen of this operation, a sophisticated and wealthy character. The footage builds to an eerie moment where Stone's character collapses and is shaved bald, covered in white paint, as Plemons' character looks on ominously. What? What? I don't know. Okay, he's an odd one. Remember The Lighthouse? Okay.
Yeah, Very interesting, man. Very freaking interesting. And of course, we all know that How to Train Your Dragon 2 was also announced coming to theaters June 11th, 2027, even though the first one has not even come out yet. So there it is. That one's on your list as well.
Oh, yeah,
So that
excited.
should be interesting. Sony also had some stuff to talk about other than Spider-Man. So that was nice. That was very exciting.
Calm down. They
Um,
did have Spider-Man. Calm
of course
down.
they had it. Of course they had it. But they did talk about Karate Kid Legends.
Yes.
This release date for this is going to be May 30th of 2025. It is directed by Jonathan Inswell. Main cast, of course, includes Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, Ben Wang, Joshua Jackson, Shantae Renee Wilson, Sadie Stanley, Armis Knight, Wyatt Olive, Jennifer Lynn Christie, and Ming Na Wen. So that's
Yes.
very exciting. And in some exclusive footage, man, CinemaCon 2025 featured two intense scenes. The first shows Lee as the new Karate Kid discovering a suspicious pot in his kitchen, only to be attacked by shadowy figures. Jackie Chan's Mr. Han enters, and the scene softens as they sit with Lee's mom, who is Ming Na Wen. The second scene features Mr. Han in California visiting a dojo. He talks to Daniel LaRusso, who's of course played by Ralph Macchio, about passing on the Mr. Miyagi's legacy to Lee. And despite Daniel's refusal, Han insists he will find him in New York. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't think it's going to do as big of numbers as this, but I fruition a very good comparison between this and Top Gun Maverick. I think this is going to bring a lot of nostalgia back, especially for the 80s people. And I think this is going to do really well at the box office.
I think so too. I think it's going to have a solid run with some legs because you are going to get the legacy people like myself who grew up with the original, and you're going to get the whole new generation of audience that found Cobra Kai and learn this story. So I think you're going to get that blend, and I'm right there with you. I think this thing will have some legs at the box office. Might not be the biggest thing of all time, but it's going to do well. I agree with you. Another franchise that just won't die, no pun intended, but I'm kidding, I'm not kidding, it won't. 28 years later. Yeah, 28 years later. Apparently is coming. The release date, June 20th of this year, directed once again by Danny Boyle. Now, the main cast will have Jodie Comer, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Ralph Fiennes, Jack O'Connell, Elfie Williams, Aaron Kellerman, Edvin Riding, Chi Lewis Perry, and Emma Laird. Oh, Emma Laird. I love Emma. Exclusive footage was shown. And what's it about? Well, the trailer opens with soldiers being attacked by infected in a dark bunker. We see a small English town surrounded by a barrier where survivors live amid the ongoing pandemic. Apparently, tensions build as Aaron Taylor Johnson's character trains his son to protect the town while the infected continue to rampage. Well, yeah, it's not 28 anything if they're not rampaging, right? But
Exactly. They're so confident bringing this franchise back that they're doing another one as well. 28 years later, The Bone Temple.
okay.
That one's going to be released January 16th of 2026, directed by Ania DaCosta, and of course, main cast being Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jack O'Connor, Emma Laird, and Ralph Phineas. And in this one, exclusive footage, we got while no footage was shown at CinemaCon 2025, it revealed two stills from this one though. One shows survivors fleeing through the forest, while the other introduces a pale, bald, and wounded Ralph Phineas surrounded by a wall of skulls, hinting at his character's sinister nature. I loved this guy ever since.
Yeah.
I loved him obviously as Voldemort and so many other things. But after watching Conclave, I'm a huge fan and want to continue watching his stuff.
No doubt. And I'm guessing with 28 years later, and then 28 years later, the Bone Temple, is this like a Mission Impossible thing? Is this like a two-part story? Because they're
like.
kind of close, June, and then the next one comes out just January, a few months later. So and same cast, so I'm guessing that's what we're kind of seeing here. All right, calm down. Sony is Spider-Man, and finally, we're getting the next one. I'm super pumped about this. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Yes, is finally coming, but not soon as you think. June 4th, 2027. So we got a couple of years to wait for this one, but it is coming. This one will be directed by Bob Perschetti and Justin K. Thompson. The main cast will once again include Shamik Moore, Haley Steinfeld, Brian Tyree Henry, Nicolas Cage, Luna Lauren Velez, Jake Johnson, Oscar Isaac, and Jason Schwartzman. So, all of the people that have been in all the other ones. Now, they did show apparently some, a little bit of teaser footage out of this one. Miles and Gwen riding a motorcycle, the Spot absorbing color from environments, and a tense encounter between Miles and Miles. Yeah, his alternate universe self, who, get this, is now the Prowler. The trailer hints at their collaboration against a threat with vibrant, action-packed visuals. I think everybody's down for this. We're all waiting for it. Both the first ones were epic. The only thing is, though, the the creators and the directors behind are not involved. So, yeah, that's the curious thing. How will it do without their involvement? But I think it's going to be okay.
I hope so, man. I hope so. The first one was an Oscar-winning film, so, yeah, I really freaking hope. The second one was Oscar-nominated, but still. Yeah, wild. But we also got Caught Stealing, which this one is supposed to be coming out August 29th of 2025, and it's directed by Darren Alonzo Fiske. Main cast includes Austin Butler, Regina King, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith, Liev Schreiber, Bad Bunny, and Vincent D'Onofrio. Damn, what a cast. And it's exclusive footage. They were treated to a first trailer of this bad boy, and it is supposed to be kind of like a heist thriller. Austin Butler stars as Hank Thompson, an ex-baseball player immersed in New York City's crime scene. The trailer features action-packed moments like a kitchen fight, a car chase, a tense sit-down with matzo ball soup. It sounds like everything New York, man. It really does.
It does. It does. I love it. All right. Are you ready? Do you want to take a big, bold, beautiful journey? Why is it beautiful? Because Margot Robbie is in it. I don't know. We're about to find out. The release date is September 19th, 2025. It's directed by Kogonada. The main cast, as I said, does have Margot Robbie, Colin Farrell, Lily Rabe, Jodie Turner-Smith, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Billy Magnuson, Brandon Pierre, Sasha Gideon, Chloe East, and Hamish Linkletter. That is a cast. All right, did they show anything from this one? Well, this is Kogonada's follow-up to After Yang. They did show a trailer. The trailer opens with brightly colored umbrellas in a rainy environment. Characters played by Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie steal glances at each other, driving through the countryside, only to stumble upon a strange red door, leading them to a series of high school memories. The footage blends tenderness, humor, and unconventional visuals, appealing to both general audiences and art house fans. Okay.
There you go, man. There you go. Well, we do know what you did last summer. That's right.
Yeah,
I know what you did last summer because that one is going to be coming out July 18th of 2025, and it's directed by Jennifer Caton Robinson. Main cast includes Madeline Klein, Chase Toy Wonders, Freddie Prinze Jr., and Jennifer Love Hewitt, of course, coming back. Exclusive footage from CinemaCon. We got a trailer. That's right. I Know What You Did Last Summer Legacy sequel, where Madeline Klein's character is targeted by a hook-handed killer.
That's right.
After a deadly encounter. The trailer shows quick cuts of suspense, kills, and nostalgia-filled cameos by Jennifer Love Hewitt asking, "What did you do last summer?" The footage promises a mean-spirited slasher experience with a familiar, yet fresh vibe. That's for sure. Probably from all the plastic surgery, but, it's going to be very interesting.
She's just getting older. That's what she says.
Fine. It's fine.
It's not
No judgment.
Botox or surgery or anything.
Yeah.
And I know people are at why the name is exactly the same. I Know What You Did Last, because it's a reboot, even though it does have two of the original stars. What? But that's what it is. It's a reboot. It's a fresh take with two of the original stars. Sure, whatever. All right, let's jump on over to Lionsgate. That they had a few movies, and I bet you can know what they were. 95% of them were John Wick, but there were a couple of other things. Lionsgate did make several exciting announcements, including an untitled project. We don't know the name. We don't know the release date.
Why even bring it?
We also don't know when they're going to release it. What we do know is that Paul Feig will direct it and apparently be one of the stars in it. Now, I know what you're saying. We don't know the name. We don't know when it's going to be released. But apparently they had footage. A hilarious behind-the-scenes look at Paul Feige's comedy featured chaotic office scene where a quirky character, played by Feige, leads a group of employees through a series of misadventures. The footage was packed with mishaps and witty banter, showcasing Feige's, of course, signature humor and charm, and promised plenty of laughs as things spiral out of control into true Feige fashion. What? Like,
Interesting.
okay.
That's all we got, man. That's all we got. We also got American Psycho, though. Release date to be determined. Director is going to be Luca Guadagnino, and we don't know the stars yet, but they do know that they do want this happening. A chilling scene unfolded with Patrick Bateman in a luxury Manhattan apartment, though, with an intense interaction highlighted by Guadagnino's sleek, artful approach to the material, delivering an eerie atmosphere with a psychological tension. The footage hinted at provocative reimagining of the iconic story with stylish visuals that promise to delve deeper into Bateman's unsettling world. Again, that one didn't need to happen either.
It didn't. But if they're doing it, and while I do the next one, if you want to consult the Bible again, I think they announced who was playing Patrick, but if I remember correctly. But it better be set in the 80s, and it better have Huey Lewis. Otherwise, I'm just not even going to bother. That's all I'm saying. This next one I am excited about. Now You See Me 4. Yes, we don't have a release date yet or a director, but we do know that Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson will be back, and they did show some footage, an exciting glimpse into the high-stakes world of the magicians turned heist artists. The trailer teased an elaborate magic trick gone awry, followed by a thrilling chase sequence. Now, Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson, as I said, do return with a new twist that apparently pushes the franchise into a bolder, more dangerous territory, setting the stage for even more mind-bending illusions and heists. Ooh.
Very exciting, man. Very exciting. And it's Austin Butler. He's going to be starring
there you
in the
go.
new American Psycho. We do have Hurry Up Tomorrow as well, going to be released on May 16th of 2025. We do have The Weeknd starring in this boy, but we don't have a director, at least not that we know of at the moment. Exclusive footage of a gripping 10-minute clip introduced a gritty near-future world where Adol Tessife's mysterious character navigates a complex web of conspiracies and betrayal. The footage was visually striking with a tense pacing and a haunting soundtrack, leaving the audience on the edge of their character's past collided with a dangerous present. The clip teased a dark and atmospheric journey full of suspense.
Yes. Okay. There you go. I teased it. Here we go. Are you ready to dive into the world of Wick? Because it's coming. Ballerina. Release date June of this year, June 6th. Director, to be determined, but I'm betting we know. Ana de Armas and Keanu Reeves, once again, are in it. Can you have Wick without Keanu? No. They did show, apparently, some exclusive footage. A thrilling action sequence introduced Ana de Armas' character in full assassin mode, blending high-octane fight scenes with an emotional backstory. Now, the footage also revealed, as I said, the return of Keanu Reeves' John Wick, who crosses paths with de Armas' character at a crucial moment, adding an intriguing connection to the larger Wick universe. Fans were treated to intense action and a glimpse of the deeper motivations driving these characters. Now that we know Keanu is back...
Exactly. He's coming back for Chapter 5. That's for sure. We don't know a lot about this one, but we do know that they did get an exclusive look into the next chapter in the John Wick saga, and it was brutal and intense, set in a whole new city that it hadn't been before, with Keanu Reeves' iconic character surrounded by all enemies, as he always is. The footage showcased a gritty, rain-soaked alleyway where Wick engages in an epic, bone-crunching fight with promises of even more high-octane action and brutal combat in the latest chapter of this series. So, very excited about it, but they're also looking to do a different type of John Wick movie, right?
Oh, they certainly are. If you can't get enough of that, how would you like to see him animated? Why not, right? And who better to voice John Wick in the animated than Keanu Reeves! Exclusive footage was shown from this one too, and the animated take on the John Wick universe unveiled a fast-paced action sequence where John Wick battled enemies in a unique, stylized animation style. Do we have to call it stylized and a style? I think that was redundant. With Keanu Reeves lending his voice once again to the role, as I said, the trailer hinted at a deeper exploration of Wick's origins and a fresh take on his action-packed journey, offering fans a new lens through which to experience this beloved character.
Hey,
Okay.
Keanu's getting old, man. So this might be his way out from continuing to do all these crazy stunts. So we'll see.
Without doubt. Without doubt.
But they're talking about another freaking John Wick spinoff, Kane. And we do know that Donnie Yen is going to be starring in this bad boy. Exclusive footage of the gripping scene introduced Donnie Yen's character, Kane, navigating a dangerous world of deception and martial arts. The footage featured a breathtaking high-energy fight sequence that highlighted Yen's incredible skill and fierce determination. This spin-off is set the stage for yet another action-packed adventure in the John Wick universe with intense combat scenes and a strong new protagonist. The John Wick franchise is built off of Bruce Lee's shoulders. That freaking is for sure. These are just like Bruce Lee movies of the modern era.
Yeah. And I'm going to go on the record and say John Wick is to Lionsgate what James Bond is to MGM. They are literally, they are the John Wick studio. Period. There's no doubt about it. Now, they do have another sequel apparently coming to Now You See Me. Now You See Me, now you don't. Now, this is interesting. The date is November 14th of this year. We don't know the director. It wasn't announced. But we do know Jesse Eisenberg will be back. Where's Woody? What? So, what does that mean? Well, the first look at the sequel showcased a new high-stakes heist involving illusions on a grand scale. The trailer featured only Jesse Eisenberg's character coordinating an elaborate trick that quickly spirals out of control, leading to an unexpected and thrilling chain of events. Fans were promised even more mind-bending magic, twists, and heists that push the limits of the franchise's senior kicks and tricks. Yeah, that doesn't bode well for Woody Harrelson, it doesn't sound like. Just saying.
Oh, for sure. And then we got a little bit of talk about the Michael Jackson biopic, Michael. It's supposed to be releasing October 3rd of 2025, but they're talking about possibly splitting that into two different movies. I guess it's like a 4-hour runtime so far. Of course, Jafar Jackson, his nephew, real-life nephew, is starring as the title character. We did get a powerful scene showing Jafar playing his Uncle Michael, rehearsing one of his most iconic performances, with the emotional sequence captured Michael's brilliance and struggle, highlighting an intense preparation behind his shows. Stunning choreography and music made this sneak peek both moving and captivating, offering a glimpse into Michael's complex journey as a performer. I know people are very excited to see that one, so yeah, it's going to be interesting.
No doubt. And everyone is excited to see this one too, coming November 20th of next year. Our buddy, our friend, and former guest on this very podcast, Billy Ray, was recently announced as the writer of this bad boy, The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. As you guys know, this is a prequel. Lionsgate teased a stunning prequel to the Hunger Games series, showing the rise of the Capitol and the origins of the reaping ceremony. The footage introduced new characters, setting the stage for a deeper dive into the brutal history of Pan Am's dystopian society. Fans were also given a chilling preview of the reaping, one of the most pivotal moments in franchise's history. So, yeah.
And we also have one called Power Ballad. Now, this one stars Paul Rudd, Nick Jonas, and Jack Rayner. We did get a trailer from that, which introduced Paul Rudd as a down-on-his-luck rock musician struggling to regain his place in the music world. The footage offered a blend of powerful musical performances and emotional moments as Rudd's character grappled with his past while trying to move forward. With additional performances from Nick Jonas and Jack Rayner, this musical drama promised to deliver both heart and high-energy music-filled performances. So that is very exciting. Freaking Paul Rudd, I wonder if he's gonna sing. I've never heard Paul Rudd sing.
I don't know, but I'm down for anything anytime Paul Rudd does anything dramatic, because he is a
Yeah.
really incredible actor for anybody who doesn't know. So him as a down and out, on his bad on luck musician, that just sounds really, really interesting to me. I'm kind of all down on that. As a kid from this era, I don't know how I feel about this one, but I'm going to give it a shot, I think. Masters of the Universe. We are jumping over to Amazon MGM. That release date is June 5th of next year. Going to be directed by Travis Knight. Now, this thing's going to star Nicholas Galzatine, Camila Mendes, Jared Leto, Alison Brie, Idris Elba, Morena Baccarin, Johannes Hakour Johannesson. Now, that's a pretty epic cast. Apparently, they did do a sizzle reel that introduced by Travis Knight himself. Nicholas Galzatine and Camila Mendes also were there and showed Galzatine as He-Man reaching for the iconic sword. The emphasis is on the high fantasy aesthetic, faithful to the cartoon, even with the 80s inspired costumes for the characters, like Morena Baccarin and Idris Elba. Now, the film promises practicality and accuracy in the design. So, okay, I'm down for that.
For sure. We also have Project Hail Mary, coming out March 20th of 2026. This one is directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. The main cast include Ryan Gosling, Sandra Hüller, Milena Van Trump, James Ortiz as well. And we did see Ryan Gosling as the quirky school teacher who is tasked with reigniting the Earth's sun. Now, after comedic interactions, Gosling encounters an alien named Rocky. The footage blends somber, epic, and comedic tones with the ambitious visuals, showcasing space with cinematography from Greg Fraser. That's fun. I think, Ryan Gosling had an awesome year a couple years ago with Barbie, and The Fall Guy. So I'm interested to see how he does in this one.
Yeah, follows up. And now we know where the Spider-Verse guys went.
Yeah.
Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Okay. All right. They're okay. They're doing all right. Then we've got Verity. This one sounds interesting. This one's coming out May 15th of 2026, directed by Michael Showalter. This cast is pretty epic too. Anne Hathaway, Josh Hartnett. Good to see Josh back. I love that he's back. Dakota Johnson. Now, this exclusive footage that was shown was a teaser that reveals a crime thriller as Lowen, played by Dakota Johnson, is hired to ghostwrite for Verity, which is Anne Hathaway, a famous crime novelist who now is apparently a mute after an accident. Tensions rise as Lowen gets entangled in a complicated love affair, leading to a bloody and suspenseful situation.
Sounds intense, man.
A little ghostwriter getting busy with her boyfriend? That's what it sounds like. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Well, After the Hunt also was announced and talked about. October 17th of 2025 is when it's supposed to come out. And it was directed by Luca Guadagnino. Also busy. Main cast includes Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield, Ayo Ederi. So bad. I'm so sorry.
No, it's good.
Chloe Sevigny and Michael Stuhlbarg. Exclusive footage shows the trailer starting with Andrew Garfield's character Harry discussing cancel culture and quickly escalates as Ayo accuses him of assault. Julia Roberts becomes caught in the storms of allegations and chaos, offering a tense, thought-provoking trailer. Ooh, I smell Oscar nominations from that one. That sounds interesting.
Without doubt. Without doubt. Okay, then we're jumping over to Mercy, which apparently is going to be released in January 23rd of next year. This one has Chris Pratt, Rebecca Ferguson, Annabelle Wallis, and Callie Reese. Now, the footage that was shown here was an extended trailer that introduces Chris Pratt as a detective accused of murdering his wife. The film plays out through an AI interface with Pratt racing against time to prove his innocence, blending high-concept sci-fi with a narrative full of twists. This sounds like a sci-fi AI take on Presumed Innocent. Like,
does,
right? Like, except it's not a DA accused, it's a cop, and like, I don't know.
Yeah, We also got Crime 101, some point in 2025, directed by Bart Layton. Main cast includes a couple of MCU people: Chris Hemsworth, Monica Barbeau, Barry Keoghan, Mark Ruffalo, Halle Berry.
Oh.
and Jennifer Jason Leigh. And exclusive footage shows this trailer, 4 different perspectives, in a high-stakes heist in Los Angeles. With $11 million on the line, Chris Hemsworth and Halle Berry team up to while Mark Ruffalo and Barry Keoghan complicate their plans. Tension builds in this ensemble crime thriller. That one sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm down for a Chris Hemsworth and Halle Berry team up. That's like Thor and Storm. That's a lot of
Right?
thunder.
It is.
All right, we're going to go to Three Bags Full, a sheep detective movie. What? Okay. Release date February 20th of next year, directed by Kyle Balda. This main cast is another big one. Hugh Jackman, Emma Thompson, Nicholas Braun, Nicholas Gelzatine. He's a busy guy too, apparently. Molly Gordon, Hong Chow, Tosin Cole, Kobna Holbrook Smith. Now, this is apparently a family-friendly whodunit. The film features Hugh Jackman as a sheep. Oh, sheep herder. Okay, good. A sheep herder who is murdered, with his sheep solving the crime.
Huh?
The behind-the-scenes footage promised a fun, lighthearted vibe with a star-studded cast and an intriguing take on the genre. So the sheep are going to solve Hugh Jackman's murder.
Okay, that sounds very weird. I don't know about that one.
Is it animated, or is it mix of like a live-action animated type?
That's weird. That must be a nice payday for those people.
I mean, I'm all in on Hugh, but that just doesn't... I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we are finally done, guys. We made it through CinemaCon 2025. I mean, of course, that's why it's a week long. I mean, we've been talking about it for an hour, so it makes sense, man. It makes sense. So we'll hit you with our highlights and our lowlights in our opinions. Highlights, definitely Avatar and Jurassic World for me. I'm super excited for those. Both of them sound very visually appealing, with the stories encompassing what the stories were for Avatar and continuing that storyline, and then just a whole new revamp of Jurassic World. I'm excited to see what Scarlett Johansson does and moving forward. And the lowlights, honestly, Naked Gun. I don't think Liam Neeson is going to be funny, man. I just don't. And I'm very back and forth on Freakier Friday as well. So there are those.
I am, my highlights, obviously, I really am excited about Superman. Even though the OG will always be my guy, will always be my movie, I'm pumped every time they try to redo it, and I'm hoping that this is a huge hit. I'm excited for it. And also all the nostalgia. I'm totally down for the Karate Kid stuff. You know, there's a lot of stuff coming that I'm just really excited about from my era, which is really cool. Down Life for me, I'm right there with you. I just think way too many franchise sequels that we just don't need, or reboots that we I was a huge fan of I Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't think they needed the sequel with Brandy. I think it should have just been a one-off. It was a brilliant concept. It was a fun film. And now that they're like trying to reboot it, we don't need it. But yeah, overall though, like I said at the top of the show when we teased it, it did seem to be a nice blend of tent poles and then quirky artsy films with a little bit of nostalgia type stuff. So if we can get that blend and we can get people in the seats, it could be pretty good news for theaters. We're gonna see. You know, it's been so up and down. We don't know. But the theater owners seemed excited, seemed pumped. So it was a successful week. Will it be a successful couple of years? Well, stay tuned. That's all I can say.
Yes, exactly. Well, now we are headed over to our top 5 segment, where Dustin teased at the top of the show. We will be discussing our favorite Val Kilmer roles, and a lot of these, especially on your list, I have to go back and watch. There's 3 of them, just 2 that I have not seen. But yeah, I definitely love going back and rewatching. Rewinding.
Which ones did you not see?
Passes.
Which ones did you not see?
I haven't seen True Romance.
Okay.
Well, I'm giving away your list now. I don't want to do that.
Well, no, because we don't know who I'm saying.
Yeah,
but...
and then The Saint.
Okay.
I haven't seen those as well.
Okay.
So yeah, there was one on here, To Kill an Irishman, that I wanted to put on here, but then when I saw the other ones on his IMDb, I was like, no, these are my good ones. So I'll start with number 5, and I honestly didn't even know this was him. With the Prince of Egypt, he did play the title character Moses.
He did.
This was honestly my favorite animated biblical children's film. And it's so crazy because it came out like around like the age where I don't even remember. I was really young, but the the darkness and I mean, obviously the Bible has very dark stories in
Yeah.
it, and what they were able to do with this film and turn it into a kids movie and showing two brothers against each other, I think was really good. And his voice portrayed such raw emotion and power, and speaking the word of God with the testaments and moving the ocean and moving the river, splitting it so everyone could walk through the sea. It's an amazing story that I love was turned into this, because it's a classic that I feel like I'm going to show to my kids when starting to have those conversations. But yeah, I love this character and I love this movie. So number 5 for me, Moses from Prince of Egypt.
Love that pick. And the irony of that this man would go on to eventually lose his voice and no longer be able to speak, which
Right.
is just that, it's one of those unbelievable things. What I remember most about that movie, though, as much as I like Val Kilmer and the movie itself, it was great, is it finally put an end to the feud between Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey. They came together for that beautiful theme song from it, and they were like, let's just be friends.
That's funny.
Anyway, all right, my number 5, I don't think a lot of people even realized this was him, but I loved it. It was a different take, a quirky version, a kind of like not who you would expect to pull it off, but totally does. True Romance, you kind of hinted at. This is a Christian Slater star, right? But Christian Slater's character in this movie sees an imaginary Elvis. And Val Kilmer is Elvis. He plays the Elvis. And when you think Val Kilmer, you don't necessarily think Elvis. But I couldn't stop watching him when he was in the scenes. It was just this take and how he portrayed him and the way he approached Elvis. I was like, okay. And Christian Slater at that time, pretty big. And he was like, you're wanting to watch Christian, but you couldn't stop focusing on Val's Elvis. It was very, very strange. True Romance, by the way, really good film. If you're into Christian Slater and you're into, I highly recommend it. But yeah, check it out. It's an Elvis like you've never seen before. I can promise you that. It's got a little bit of quirkiness, but then totally Elvis and then totally not Elvis. Val Kilmer, Elvis. True Romance, my number 5.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Number 4 for me is kind of like a cameo type thing. He was in one episode and it was pretty freaking funny.
Yes.
He was the Sherpa in Entourage, where he was basically like this crazy drug dealer who like Turtle gets everybody involved with. And we love this show, of course, and to have all of these epic cameos in the show makes it even more special. But especially for him, my next 2 being comedic roles, I think that's something that he didn't get enough credit for. He is very good at comedy as well.
Yeah.
So to be able to do this type of role, and where it was just so out of the box, so out of character from what people know him as, I think was very freaking special. So number 4 for me, the Sherpa in Entourage. Go find that one.
Without doubt. Like just one of the greatest shows ever. And yeah,
Ever.
and that was a outstanding guest appearance. Like a one and done, but it was worth every minute of watching it. It was brilliant. My number 4, you can't have it not on the list. You have to have it on the list because there's no way that it can't be. My number 4 is Iceman in Top Gun Maverick. The bad boy that everybody wants to hate, but kind of likes. You kind of like the cocky guy that's in the face of Tom Cruise, right? You're like I'm not even going to lie, because my opinions on Tom, even though I love all his movies, but I was kind of rooting for Iceman. I'm like, kick his ass. Don't touch Goose, but kick his ass. And then I love, though, that, spoiler alert if you're one of the rare people that never saw Maverick, how it developed and that friendship that came at the end of Top Gun and into where we see it in Maverick. Beautiful. Beautiful storytelling, beautiful ending to the character of Iceman. And what a send-off for Val Kilmer. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was his last cinematic role that we see him. Just a beautiful send-off and a beautiful character. Well written, first time around, well written coming back, and I had to put it on the list. My number 4, Iceman from Top Gun.
So good, man. So good. My number 3 is freaking hilarious. I think they came to him for this role because Mark Hamill wasn't allowed to be in this role because of his affiliation with Disney and Star Wars at the time. But I'm talking about Blunt Man from Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Oh, this was a hilarious installment of the Jay and Silent Bob / Clerks franchise. And, we actually went and saw this film with Kevin Smith.
Yes.
We got to do a nice interaction and stayed for like a nice Q&A section. But I mean, events like this and films like this that start off so indie and then work their way into the mainstream is honestly what we aspire to be. So it's always very inspirational, even when the movies are goofy as shit. So that's why we love everything that Kevin Smith does, even when they're fucking crazy ideas like Tusk or Red State. But I think what Val Kilmer brought to this role was just, again, comedy and humor, lightheartedness, not taking himself too seriously, even though he, like I said, is that thespian trained, Juilliard graduated actor. But it's always special when those type of people don't take themselves too seriously. So number 3 for me, Blunt Man in Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
I love it. Yeah, his comedic side doesn't get nearly enough credit, and solid. Another side that doesn't really get a lot, because he's known for all these dramatic roles, kind of, I feel like, but a side that his action side, and no, it's not what you think. I did not put that one on the list, and I will not put that one on the list. My number 3 is The Saint. Guys, this is like James Bond meets the Thomas Crown Affair. It is more like this epic spy thriller film about a character named the Saint, and he's absolutely brilliant in it. It is a high ride, edge of your seat, you don't know what's going to happen thriller from start to finish. It co-stars Elizabeth Shue. Their chemistry together is just off the charts. Both of them were riding very high when this film came out. And it was a sleeper hit. Everybody was like, huh? What? It's just a knockoff of James Bond. But the more people watched it, the more it gained traction from word of mouth. It became this huge hit. And now it's like a cult classic. It's so highly. His performance in it, though, is as a manipulative yet suave, conniving yet convincing and believable and lovable spy. It's every realm of the spectrum of personalities that he pulls off in this role. It's just brilliant. The Saint. And of course, he's the Saint in The Saint. My number 3, The Saint. Highly recommend. I can't wait for you to watch it because it is really, and Elizabeth Shue slays in this one too. It's a really good dynamic between the two, and just a great film, great performance.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, number 2 for both of us is Jim Morrison, of course, in The Doors.
Yes.
I remember when I first tried to watch this film, I was probably way too young to watch it, and I kind of got scared when freaking they were tripping acid in the desert and shit. I mean, that was wild. But I think, like we said earlier at the top of the show, this was his passion project. He took this role very freaking seriously, and you can tell he put everything that he had into this role and put all of his acting chops. And of course, Jim Morrison was a wild, eccentric guy anyway, who was like probably well before his time. What he was trying to do with psychedelic music and rock and roll music was completely underrated, in my opinion. And I mean, people always talk about the Doors, but they're not in the conversation enough as one of the best bands of all time. Still, I mean, I love it. I loved everything that he did with this character.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that. And for the new generation now, think everything that Timothy Chalamet did for Bob Dylan, Jim Morrison and the character and what Val Kilmer did for this movie, he did all those years ago. He dove into it. It was a years-long process. He was committed to becoming. He's not really known as a method actor, but it was definitely method. He was full in on becoming Jim Morrison. And it's stunning how much he pulls it off. You forget you're watching Val Kilmer. And keep in mind, at this point, he's iconic for a lot of roles where he's very recognizable, and yet at no point do you think you're watching Val Kilmer. You are watching Jim Morrison. And that is a testament to the passion that he put into that project and how he pulled it off. It's a brilliant film, obviously, Oliver Stone, but yeah, I'm right there with you. Number 2, Jim Morrison in The Doors. Just Val Kilmer at his best. Honest, I mean, it's hard to knock, man. Hard to knock.
Yeah, and it's honestly one of the best portrayals where the actor looks exactly like the person in real life. So I mean, it's kind of creepy if you do a side by side. It's absolutely wild.
It is.
Number 1 for me, you mentioned it in your top 5, but I want this type of aura. I want this confidence. I want that cockiness. And I'm talking about Iceman. I try to channel my inner Iceman every time I step onto the scene. But man, oh man, I loved it. I loved everything that he did. And you saw the progression of his character, like you said, with the storyline in Top Gun Maverick from the initial Top Gun. And I think, he was the number 1 end all be all, and then you had the young buck, the underrated guy who came and you can be my wingman any day. But yeah, it was such a great film, and what he did to what he did to that character in the first one and the second one. I'm not even realizing that my coffee mug is the Top Gun Maverick.
Nice.
But yeah, I loved his character, and probably my favorite character in the first Top Gun, but then of course Rooster in Top Gun Maverick.
For sure.
But yeah, number 1 for me, Iceman from Top Gun.
Yeah, I like it because he inevitably showed, everybody thought he was just cocky, but he was confident. And in the end, he was right because Maverick needed him in the end, right? He was always like, you think, but watch, and even in Maverick, it showed that relationship stayed. In the end, Maverick needed him. And that, so yeah, it was just brilliant. My number 1 is another real life person that he portrayed, and in my opinion, the single greatest acting he's ever done, and just one of the greatest westerns ever made, hands down. Wyatt Earp and the Boys. I'm talking about Tombstone, where the brilliant performance of Val Kilmer as the tuberculosis-stricken Doc Holliday near the end of his life. So good. The manner in which he dove in and played this near the end of his life, sickly Doc Holliday, yet the Iceman quality. He's like, I'm sick, I'm about to die, I can barely walk 2 feet without breathing and hacking up a lung, but I can outdraw you and kill you without blinking an eye. And he never doubted it. He never doubted his ability to pull the gun. And that was Doc Holliday. And there was humor in it. I remember when Johnny is pulling out the gun and slinging it all over the place or whatever, and he does it with his cup, and he's mocking him. It's that typical Val Kilmer. It's a very serious role. It's a very serious scene. There's a dark tone, but he's got that humor that Kilmer always seems to be able to infuse into these dark situations, which I think he does really well in so many roles. But yeah, and then like I said, one of the most iconic lines in pop culture history. Everybody quotes it. The day that he died, I did myself, and it was everywhere. I'm your Huckleberry. I everywhere I looked, there it was. It's hard. Yeah, my number 1, Doc Holliday in Tombstone. In my opinion, the greatest, and it's right there. Jim Morrison is right there. But in my opinion, this is his greatest acting performance, and a character I will never forget. Every time that movie is on, I stop and watch it. I can't help it. It's like I'm flipping through. Oh shit, Tombstone. Yeah, I mean, it's like right there.
So good, man. So good. Well, we want to know, what was your favorite Val Kilmer role? Please be sure to comment in the YouTube comment section or add us on X, Threads, Twitter, all the good places.
Yes.
Please, please, please be sure to do so. Well, heading over to the box office recap, man, Working Man came in at number 1, took the number 1 spot with $15 million. Snow White, man, those Seven Dwarfs did not help her reclaim that number 1 spot. She came in with $14 million. The Chosen, Last Supper, came in at $11 million. The Woman in the Yard came in at number 4 with $9.4 million. And Death of a Unicorn came in at number 5 with $5.8 million. And then, of course, movie coming out this weekend, a Minecraft movie, Freaky Tales, Hell of a Summer, The Friend, and The Chosen, The Last Supper, Part 2. That is for sure. Movies you can still go see right now are Novocaine, The Day the Earth Blew Up, the Looney Tunes movie, Captain America Brave New World, Steamboat, and One of Them Days. So be sure to check those out and select theaters near you. And the IMDb Pro's top trending segment. The top trending movie is Snow White because people are bashing the shit out of it.
Yeah.
It is not that bad. It is not great. I will never watch it again, but it's not that bad. I've went and sat through worse. I will say that. The top trending TV show is Adolescence, which I've heard is amazing. A lot of people have been talking about that one. And then the top trending star is Rachel Zegler.
I am going to be watching with intense eyes to see if I think it will hang on, but I would not be surprised if Snow White were to drop out of the top 5 after only 2 weeks. I wouldn't be surprised. I think it'll hang in. It'll skirt in at like number 4 or 5 because Minecraft's obviously going to be number 1, right? Yeah. That's going to take it. It's definitely going to be boosted by the fact that there's a 5-minute scene of Superman on it before the movie. That's going to help push people to it. So I just, it's going to be curious. I'm really interested to see how big the fall off is for Snow White in this 3rd week. That's tough. Remember, we talked about it. It needed to make all its money the first couple weeks because of Minecraft opening so close to it. And I don't know, man.
It's rough, man. It's rough. Well, we got to thank everybody one more time for listening to 291 of ITCAFpodcast. We really freaking appreciate it. You guys know you can follow the podcast at ITCAFpodcast on any and all social media platforms. And then you can do the same thing with both of us personally. Myself at J. Logan Austin and that guy.
Inhale that at Crazy Ant CEO. I don't even know what that was. Something went down the throat into the... Whoo!
Oh, goodness, man. Oh, goodness. And, of course, you can go back and listen to our Normalizing Mental Health Conversations on Everything's Okay podcast with the one and only Jennifer Hale, the amazing Jennifer Hale. Be sure to check that out. We've now interviewed 2 of the 3 Hex sisters from Scooby-Doo. So we are right there, man. We are right there.
Emily is all in it, boy. She was a huge Hex Girls fan, man. She would sing the shit out of that song. So she's probably thrilled.
Man, right there. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. Be sure to like this video if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for all the notifications coming out of Crazy Ant Media. And then, of course, like I said, be sure to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, to stay up to date with everything happening at Crazy Ant Media. Man, what a great freaking show. Like I said, I really felt like CinemaCon this year released a lot of stuff that was nowhere near what they had before in the past. I think this is the biggest year so far for it.
Yeah, and I want to give an honorable mention. We didn't really talk about it because nothing really happened other than the 4 guys walking out onto the stage with the announcement of who they were going to be. But the Beatles, the people who are portraying the Beatles were announced. They were brought out on stage. And I'm excited for that one because, as you guys know, this is going to be 4 movies basically coming out a series of months apart, telling the same story from each Beatles point of view. That's going to be really... It's either going to work or it's gonna crash and burn really bad.
Yeah,
So,
seriously.
but yeah, so I just wanted to give an honorable mention to that because it did get a lot of buzz, but that was all you got. Then they walked right back off, and that was basically the announcement. So,
Yeah, my honorable mention would be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
Yes,
coming
the
to
sequel.
Netflix, and Brad Pitt coming back with David Fincher, Quentin writing the second script. Probably won't see Leo. I would love a little cameo at least.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's really cool. I'm very surprised though that it's going to Netflix out of all places.
Right?
Which is wild.
Yeah, just insane. And they did announce all 4 actors for John, Paul, Ringo, and the gang, but they didn't announce the 5th Beatle. You guys know who the 5th Beatle is?
The one, the only.
Oprah!